Howdy number one, thanks for the like. Howdy number two. Who we got? Bashful? Hey Dylan, how's it going, bro? What are you up to? What up, Brad? Bobby, howdy, howdy. Now I'm getting some feedback. I've been messing with computers, trying to figure out what's up with my tablet. Did a damn good interview with Jim Dunn. It cut me off. So then we recorded the second part of it and lost it. Carlos, I'm going to need your help this weekend, Carlos. Oh, let me see what I missed on these couple comments here. Well, congratulations on the grandbaby. We got 16 of them. You want to buy a couple? Christmas is coming. I'll gladly sell a few. Oh, no nap. Well, thank you, Bobby. What up, JJ? That's cool. I got a, I guess they call it an iPad, an Apple tablet that Grant sent me. We ain't never got it working. My tablet just totally screwed me and Jim Dunn. Good interview with him. Damn good interview with him. It did the 47 minutes like it did you and I. And I was trying to record through YouTube. When I go into YouTube and I go live, it has the live button or it has a record. So I hit the record hoping I was recording to YouTube. Oh, hell no. I recorded on the tablet. So it cut us off. I started uploading. I go back into YouTube and try to do another recording, and we finished the interview. Lost the whole thing and didn't save it nowhere. Well, Jim's a little upset, but he's a big boy. But this weekend, Grandma said if I can get that iPad going for her where she can play her games on it, then she's going to give me her tablet and I'll bring it out. I don't know what's going on with mine. I'm ready to take a hammer to it. Put it out here in front of the damn truck and run over it. Little Joe sent me a link for Samsung Plus, which is supposed to be some computer geeks that come in and fix my problems on it, do the remote thing. Of course, it ain't opened up yet. So, I'm a little grumpy with computers right now. I don't like them. And when they don't do what I want them to do, because I'm a dumbass, I really don't like them. There, that's my rant. Maybe. Oh. So get on your private plane and fly over here by Houston and fix this for me. Yeah, I think so. Little Joe, I know Little Joe went in. Now, Grant did not have it locked down or nothing, to our knowledge. Boy, I didn't know there was a train track here, and right behind my head. But Little Joe went in and tried to set up an Apple account. I don't know. It's all Greek to me. Oh, I'm sorry, it's all Mexican to me. What up, George? Right? Oh. Well, I'm pretty much done with doing phone interviews until I get something worked out on my tablet. Rico, what's going on? Yeah, the tablet's saying that the memory's all filled up. It's got the external card in it. And we can't just, we went through, me and him been messing around. I had to run him off the phone, my son, because he still got a paper to write tonight. Oh, we can't get it to, seem to get it to go from the camera over to the card. It says that it's doing it, but it ain't doing it. Okay, Carlos, I'll take your word for it. That's why I need your help this weekend. And I tell you now, I get frustrated trying to do this stuff. So you've got to have the patience. I ain't got it for that stuff. Well, that's how I'm, JJ. I do good to do good on these Samsungs and keep them working. Down here to Shreveport. Rooster Cruiser, what's up? But Carlos, you'll be proud of Jim Dunn. He did good. He wants me to go ahead and make the first half public. But at the very end, it just cuts off. You know how it did us. I don't think I'll make it public until we at least get the second one done. Then I'll decide how to do it. What up, Jay? Oh, yeah, we did the reboot. We did all kinds of stuff. Now I'm fixing to give it the real boot, not the reboot. He really did. He remained calm, good information. He did good. Reefer unit next door. Nice old man driving it. He came over and asked me if the reefer unit was going to bother me. and offered to pull over father if it would. Now, that's pretty cool. That's old school. I told him not to worry about it. I pulled him too long. Uh-oh. You gotta be careful using that FEMA word around Carlos. And that's what I'm thinking, Bobby. Right? He said he sent you a friend request on Facebook. Uh-huh. Yeah, I was teasing him about it. He said you hadn't responded yet. He gonna tell you he don't do Facebook. Not with Yankees anyway. So I got on here just to chill out a few minutes, wind down. I'm done with that tablet for tonight, that's for sure. You trying to get Carlos going or what? Might wind up doing that. Well, it was relatively a new one. Been sitting around for a little while. I don't know how long. Grant had 2 of them. So when I started having issues, he sent me that one, and me and him tried to get it going. But he's not a computer guy. He does know Apple. But I don't know if it was him, me, or a combination of both, or the tablet. That's what I'm thinking, Jay. Yeah. Give it a couple more days, there'll be tons of water loads going over there. They send truckloads of water. Now Carlos has got the good stuff. He don't need this cheap shit I got. Well, that would be nice, George. I'm sure they are, Rooster. But right after the main part, they'll be slamming it hard with stuff. Category 2, that's good to know. Ah, well, I ain't got iTunes. Well, see, boy, they'll bust you, big truck. I've done seen them flying through this little town. They got a couple of local cops that's been working it. But I was told about Apple stores, and I was trying to find one around me, and I ain't found one. I'll probably have to go all the way into the city, I guess. Now, I went to talk to my guy, and that was fruitless. All right, George, take it easy. Thanks for dropping in. Well, that's cool, Kale. Thank you. Howdy. Glad you stopped in for the minute. Quick shout out to everybody always works. Right? Trying to keep us safe, right, Carlos? Self-preservation there. Baton Rouge area is not within driving distance. Not on my short weekends. Oh, goodness. Oh, boy. Love them 12-hour shifts. Been there and done that one. Now I hit Shreveport. Then I'm going over to, what is it, Oak City or something. Picking up one and hauling butt for the yard. If I can get delivered, picked up to the yard, they'll let me drop it. Otherwise, I got to deliver it in Broken Arrow, I think, Friday morning at 6 a.m. I don't want to do that. That's right. Rooster, you do know what Carlos says famous for, right? What it stands for. I hear something fixing to kick off, another reefer unit somewhere. Scooby-Doo. I ain't talked to the Scooby-Doo I know in 12, 15 years. Well, it would have been about 2001, 2002. Alright, Jay, take it easy, bro. I ain't too far behind you. I just got on here to wind down and vent. Alright, Kel, be careful. I used to drive with a guy named Scooby-Doo. Well, that was his nickname. And he sure liked his Scooby snacks. Did you ever wonder why Scooby and Shaggy was always hungry and had the munchies? Seems like I've parked here before. Nope. This is a real skinny, wired out white guy from up around Wisconsin or something. That's what I'm saying, Brad. Yep, Carlos, that's it. I got to put that window up some. Oh, JJ, you're getting called out. Uh-huh. Oh, excuse me. See, I can speak a little bit of English and a whole bunch of hillbilly and some redneck. Gotta have a computer to plug it into iTunes, huh? And I guess that has to be an Apple computer for iTunes. Happens all the time, Brad. Me and Carlos was just talking that on his interview. Really? Well, then what in the world has iTunes got to do with Apple Computer? Huh. We'll have a talk in the morning. You can give me a rundown on it over the phone. Save your typing finger. Yep. Too lazy to get out and walk to the truck stop. What time you reckon you get done in the morning, being you're starting early tonight? Because I don't have to get an early start tomorrow. I'm 70 miles from my delivery. Then it's another 70 miles to my pickup. I can't pick up till noon. So I don't want to start that guard over there, that prison guard over there too early. One of them shut down. Reefer units. $10:30 already. Well, that's cool. Well, I have used a bag. A lot of us have. Emergencies, you got to do what you got to do. I can tell you now, diarrhea or any kind of issues like that in a truck can be a problem. But you don't throw them out the window. And And I have a setup just for them emergencies. However, you don't throw them out the window. You find a dumpster. Oh, Barry, I tell you, it was a waste. Back in the day, we used to do stuff that modern day drivers says, you can't do that. So if you tell, they want to call you a liar. But believe me, it was a waste. Well, exactly, Carlos. If you're out here on the road, you better be set up for emergencies. And that's just like all the cold meds and everything else. I got a bag back there just for my medicines. Doan's back pills, Tylenols, all kinds of stuff in there. Diarrhea pills, all kinds of stuff in that bag. Because out here, you better be self-contained. And you never know when you're going to get stuck in the middle of nowhere where there ain't a bathroom or food. So you better have your food, you better have your emergency bathroom situation. And too many times, you run in some back roads or even in interstate, you get some places where there's not a place for a truck to stop for miles. Now you need to play Boy Scout and be prepared. Exactly. You never throw it out the window. Yep. Yep. Better have whatever you need, which I tell people that in the videos. You know, you better have whatever you need for your own personal hygiene, whatever you use. But people use different stuff. Let me see what this was from my daughter. It's some Jeff Foxworthy nonsense she did. On Lotto night? Well, good luck, man. I hope you can retire both of us. But remember, along with that candle, you got to buy tickets. I'm waiting on some millionaire to come on my channel and like me so much he retires me. At this stage in my life, it wouldn't take much. Send me $1 million, I'll be okay. Yep. See, now back in the day, There goes a pickup. Got one of them, probably a 6-foot light bar on the back of his pickup truck between his tail lights. And got them on where they're shining white. Back in the day, they would have stopped him and busted him for that. Wrong color on the wrong end of the vehicle. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Better keep my day job. Well, let's see what they got to say here. Well, they already got me doing a survey. Y'all ain't even helped fix my computer yet. They got some deal called Samsung Plus. And there we go. They're supposed to be able to come in and remotely do this. Okay. So how am I supposed to? Y'all don't want to watch me deal with this, and I don't really want to deal with it tonight anyway. Easy on that old part there, buddy boy. Carlos is old. He gave up his age the other night. What's next week? Is that another brake check week? Oh, I did not. No. No, I don't give them none of that stuff. It's supposed to be free. Yeah, I don't really worry a whole lot about all that anymore. We drive new equipment, new trailers, new trucks. You was gonna scold me, were you? Now it comes up that credit card stuff and I hit skip. There goes one of them local cops. Well, they kind of got that backwards, ain't they, Brad? Oh, it's all good, Carlos. I appreciate you looking out for me. Ain't nothing like having the Mexican Mafia watching your back. Well, in the right way. A whole lot. Usually around 3. And yeah, I know how expensive it is, and yeah, I know how bad it is. But I ain't running people off the road either. Oh, me, oh, my. Oh. Well, mine's showing 16 likes. And I never got into the dipping. Yeah, my dad used to try to bust my chops about smoking. He always dipped or chewed. And a couple of years before he died, he finally realized, well, hell, I'm busting your chops for your nicotine habit, and I got mine. I said, there you go. Just no matter what form you get it in. Well, that's a good thing. It's an expensive habit, either one of them. And they're both nasty. Well, me and Jim was covering on the video, he slip seats all the time. Every once in a while he has to get into a truck a smoker's been in. I feel for him. Well, I grew up having to empty my old man's spit tune and wash it out. I hated that. So, Mike, what's up? Well, thank you. Well, what international is it? If the international's in decent shape, personally, I'd take damn near anything over a Freightliner. Freightliner's one of the cheapest trucks out there. They vibrate, rattle, carry on. They're a cheap truck because they was mass produced and built cheap. So if the International is decent and good working order, I'd be leaning that way. Of course, there's always the dollar value, you know. You got to compare apples to apples. Yeah, I hear you, JJ. I didn't know you got deleted. I didn't delete you, buddy. I don't delete people off here. This is free speech room. So if you got deleted, it was a glitch in the Wi-Fi, your computer, something. But no, I don't delete people off here. If they start saying stupid stuff, I ignore them, or some of the other subscribers will jump their butt. But no, I don't believe in deleting people out of a conversation like this. Yep, they're called a parade shaker for a reason, ain't they? All right. Well, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't chase wild women. I don't bet on horses. I ain't blowing my money on hunting and fishing trips or going to football games or watching NASCAR. I drive this truck and I go home work on the farm. And I smoke. Don't forget my Mountain Dew, my Diet Mountain Dew. So, and yeah, I know it'd kill me, but good Lord tells me there's a better place waiting. So in the meantime, I'm going to tolerate the world any way I can, and this helps. With the traffic and the nonsense, which I smoked before trucking, don't get me wrong. And yeah, one day I'll probably be one of them old farts running around with an oxygen bottle and a hose up my nose. And I'll probably still be smoking. Yep, I like Trump. That's what I'm saying, Carlos. That's a fact, Brad. Well, now I give Carlos and Jim Dunn and JJ a hard time, I guarantee you. But hell, I've got so slow, I don't know if I can catch Grandma anymore. Barry, you didn't offend nobody, brother. And you didn't get deleted. And you ain't got to leave unless you want to leave. I'm the only one that could have deleted you, dude, and I guarantee you I didn't do it. All right? Matter of fact, y'all see my hands. You can see I didn't reach up there and delete him. I don't know how to delete someone off of a live stream. I didn't know you could. Uh-huh. No. He's talking about poking at you. He ain't talking about poking me, he's talking about poking at you. So there, JJ. I hear you. That's one of my favorite scriptures too. And no, I can't quote you book, chapter, and verse, but I like that where the good Lord says, "You got the splinter and you got the damn plank in your eye, and you're talking about the splinter in his." Really? Actually, Carlos, if you've been listening to any of my preaching videos, I've mentioned that a time or two in there. Have you been checking any of them out? Brad, you said you're a Christian, man. You've been checking out any of my videos on the good Lord? Spreading the word. I hear you. Yeah, you just a jealous individual, that's all. I'm sure you're a nice guy, you're just jealous because you can't be this good looking. What do you think of them? Do they make sense? Am I explaining the word right? Right? Well, I just had a conversation today with my aunt. Now, mind you, she's only 6 months older than me. But I had to break it down a little bit for her today. Oh. And good woman. She really is. But I had to explain to her my thoughts about following the church and not following the Lord. All right, Brad, if you're leaving us, buddy, bye. Thanks for stopping in. Stop in again. Holler howdy. When you get a chance, watch the one, I think I called it A Letter to My Mentor. One of the sweetest men you ever met. I never in my youth, as I know y'all find it hard to believe, I was a little bit of a wild feller. A little rough around the edges. I know that's hard to believe. Never thought that I would want and need a hug from a man. That sweet old man, he was so cool. And every time you seen him, you got a hug. And it was a real hug. And I don't mean it had to be a backbreaker. He was this little skinny guy, a little bitty feller. Wasn't no strength in him. He was 80 years old, you know. But it was a true heartfelt hug. There ain't nothing like it, boys and girls. Ain't nothing like it. There was nothing but love. I miss that man. Well, you're right, JJ. You don't. That's exactly it, Carlos. What are you saying no about, Brad? What I missed? Oh, you're not leaving? Okay. I think he took it when you was talking about chasing Mama. That you was going to get off, go chase Mama. Well, the church is not the building. The church is the people. Y'all gonna get me preaching tonight? Better be careful now. It don't take much to get me preaching. And I've already had them yell at me about preaching and having a cigarette. Well, actually, Bobby, it don't even have to be two. When I'm making my videos, or when I was making them, it wasn't live stream. It was just me and the Lord sitting here. And that right there makes two. Y'all couldn't see him, but he was here putting words in my mouth. All it takes to have church is for you to start talking to the Heavenly Father or to the Son. And once you start worshiping, you're in church. Now what the real saying is that where two or more in my name gathered together, then you're getting something done. That is one of them verses that modern day church and man has twisted and warped it to fit their agenda. Thank you, Brad. That's in my videos too. Watch mine about the praying. You know, you don't have to have your eyes closed. You don't have to be on your knees. You don't have to have your hands folded. You don't have to throw yourself on the ground. All praying is communication between you and God. You can go down the road and pray with your eyes wide open, watching these mirrors. You can talk to God all day long. That's what it's all about. And we start talking about the good Lord, and you watch the numbers drop on how many's in here. There you go, Carlos. Well, the thing about the church is that Paul tells us that we need to gather together with people of a like mind, such as tonight. We don't have to agree on totally everything that I think or you think or he thinks, you know, but we come together of a like mind. And he tells us to do that so that we can get support. Now, something else people don't understand is that you have to look at what the world was when the Bible was being written, when Jesus was talking and when Paul was talking. And they was talking about their day. Those days they was being persecuted real bad. We are again today. But that's why they was saying you get together with people of a like mind so that you can support each other. And that's basically how the church got formed and started, was people of a like mind banding together. And we went from that to modern day churches where it's all about the dollar. And don't get me started on that part. Well, Anthony, asking for money ain't got nothing to do with it. That's something else that gets all twisted up, is your tithes. You know, beautiful church. I think it's in Conway, Arkansas. Beautiful. And some of the locals, supposedly some of the locals driving through there, the local drivers, they tell me that it's one of these places where when you sign up, they want to see your tax returns, your W-2s. They want to know how much money you're making, and you better give them their 10% or they kick you out of the church. Really? Really? What did Jesus say? He says the physician does not go around to work on the well people. He seeks out the sick. So if that church is worried about how much money you're giving to them, instead of worrying about the sinner. That's like an old story I heard about a church looking down their nose at this old boy. They didn't want him in church. Oh, he was downright poor. Shoes didn't match. I mean, he was just a pitiful looking thing. They didn't want him in their church because he looked so bad. He'd give them a bad impression. Really? Well, he's got to be a sinner. Okay? We're all sinners. Where's the sinner supposed to go? The church is supposed to be there for the sinner. Well, the church ain't there for all these people that claim to be Christians because they show up to church every Sunday. You're supposed to be out beating the bushes and finding that individual that is hurting, that is downtrodden, that is beaten. Is that not what Jesus said? Come to me and I'll carry your load for you. Give me your yoke. Y'all gonna mess around, get me preaching tonight. Then what are you gonna do? I didn't even see Whole Grain sneak in. What's up, Whole Grain? Exactly, Carlos. Anthony, howdy. Got a smoking room. There you go. Yep. That's a fact, Brad. Ain't nothing like it. Clee, what's up? Paul, what's going on? That's right, Carlos. You hit it on the nailhead right there. You're not supposed to, if you're giving that money because you feel obligated to, or so many of the preachers, now this one makes me mad. So many of the preachers will start telling you to give your 10% so that God will give it back to you tenfold. If that's the reason you're giving, you'll never get to tenfold. You're supposed to be giving of a glad heart. You're supposed to be willingly to give it up. Not being pressured to and a guilt trip put on you. Don't try me with guilt trips. Guilt trips and intimidation does nothing but makes the old man mad. And I guarantee you, I can get a sharp tongue. Don't try to intimidate me. It ain't going to work. And don't try to make me feel guilty. Carlos, you and I covered that guilty part the other day. It don't work on me. You're exactly right, JJ. It has turned into a business. Well, it depends upon normal. No, we don't usually get worshiping and praising God in here, but it came up. So, exactly, Brad. And the hotel again. I hear you. Don't blame me, Carlos. If the spirit gets in you. Ain't nothing wrong with a break once in a while. And that's something else. People get going on about the drinking. And periodically I have a beer or a drink. And you get with the right group of people, "Oh, you're a Christian and you're drinking a beer? Yeah, what's your point?" "Well, you're not supposed to drink." Really? What did Paul tell Timothy? Can anybody tell me that? What did Paul tell Timothy? Love you too, Brad. Hope you ain't running away. Yeah, I don't do all that infomercial and TV preachers. Exactly. You're not supposed to be a drunkard. He didn't say that you couldn't. This ain't what he told Paul. But the Bible tells you not to be a drunkard. However, it tells you that about more than just drinking. You're not supposed to overindulge in anything. The food. How many of us are overweight because we overindulge in food? Sex, smoking, drinking. You're not supposed to overindulge. A glutton. That's the word I'm looking for. Tells you not to be a glutton. But what? What Paul told Timothy was to drink more wine. Now, why would Paul tell Timothy to drink more wine? And I ain't going to wait on y'all to reply. The thing is Timothy was always getting sick. The water supply and whatnot, it was not very good back then. Believe it or not, they didn't have indoor plumbing, and their drinking water would get contaminated. And Timothy was always having stomach issues. So Paul told him to drink wine. A lot of people drank a lot of wine, not to get drunk, but because they had bad water. And that's why Paul was telling Timothy, drink more wine. Don't drink the water. Drink the wine. A lot of people don't realize that. Y'all heard enough preaching tonight? Sonny, what's going on? Don't recollect seeing you before, so welcome. Watch your language, Hograin. Yeah, well, you're more than welcome. Thank you very much, and don't worry about it. Just please be careful. Well, exactly. Don't get me started on all these modern day preachers. When a preacher has his own private jet airplane and we still have starving people in the world, what's wrong? Well, thank you. This is a rare night where we're talking a little bit of gospel. Don't know if you're a Christian or not, Sonny, but you came in on a little bit of preaching. They're trying to get me fired up is what it is. It's Carlos's fault. He's the troublemaker in the room. You got to watch him. I had to explain today. Carlos, let me ask you, young man. Do you know why Jesus and back in those days they started calling it a sin? Do you know where the word sin came from? It's quite interesting, actually. And of course, it's always Carlos' fault. Have you seen the shoulders on that boy? He got shoulders big enough we can put all the blame on him. Well, let's give Carlos a chance to answer. Oh. Yep, why sin is called sin. Okay, appreciate the honesty. Uh, Back in those days, Jesus' days, the most popular weapon was the bow and arrow. Thus far, most of their sports uh, included archery. You know, and you've seen it in the movies and all this, where they have the contest and all that. That's true to a degree. Uh, if you're in an archery contest and you're trying to hit your target and you miss your target, it was called a sin. Thus, since that was a term that could be understood for missing your target, missing your mark, then it started being used because if God was wanting you to do this and these are the rules of God and you didn't do it, you missed the mark. You sinned. I always thought that was quite interesting. That was the kind of stuff when I came into the Christian world, which I guess would have been about 12, 14 years ago when I came to the Lord. And I had a very inquiring mind. And that was one of the things I wanted to find out. And like, wow, that's cool. For no hillbilly, it's cool. Annette, how you doing? See, I told y'all if we started preaching that people would drop out. We went from 18 down to 11. They ran quick. Oh, yeah, I'm in my truck. I live in this rascal. No, they had ears that do not hear. Which I've already learned that if you don't have people that is willing to hear, just stop. The good Lord told them when he sent the apostles out to all the different villages and directions. He told them, you know, if they don't want to listen and hear or take care of you, then shake the sand off your feet and move on to the other one. No, that ain't a house behind me. That's my sleeper. You're seeing a light back there. There's lights on the fuel island that's making that mark back there. See? Ah, cool. Well, Mitch and Annette, when are y'all going to do well, first I got to get my tablet fixed. My tablet went out on me tonight. This weekend, me and Carlos are going to try to get me situated. But I want to do a phone interview with team drivers. You and Mitch, and I want to do Brad. Is it Brad? It ain't Brad, but it's close to it. Been a long day. But I want to talk to a couple of you teams and get it on here on one of my videos. I do believe y'all said before you was interested in that, correct? If you're not, don't let me force you into it. Not a problem, Carlos. If y'all would, let's join in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time of fellowship and enjoying your word. Lord, I thank you for bringing these God-fearing people together so that we could enjoy it together. Lord, I ask that you take care of Carlos as he's heading out tonight and protect him and all the other drivers that are driving around this nation. Just take care of them and get them through the night. These things we ask in the precious name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Carlos, love you, brother. Be careful out there, man. Let's talk in the morning. Sensei, what's up? Well, cool, Annette. You know how to get my email address, right? Go to the About page, and my son put a link down there with the email address. Email me your phone number and stuff. Make sure you tell me who you are by your name on here and your real name, please. And we'll talk. Keep it under 90? That's asking a lot. I hear you. Them Femelos pay good for the company. They don't pay nothing extra for the driver. Yep, exactly. Later, Carlos. Don't feed the bears. Hot dogs, 11:30 my time. See, now I got sharing the word and I woke up. You notice before all that I was yawning and carrying on? Good Lord to do it to you. See, and I try on these live streams not to go political or to go into preaching. They both get me fired up in two different directions too. Actually, my window is cracked. I don't know. I've heard a lot about Freemason. I don't know. They definitely leave something to be questioned. Wow, 62. That drives me crazy. Do I have an opinion on Freemasons? No, I really don't. I've watched some documentaries about them and whatnot. No, I really don't. I was watching that about the, dadgummit, the Christian Crusaders. I can't think of what they was called. Which is supposedly what the Freemasons came from. That's right. 5 cars and a bridge? That was a busy trailer. Well, pretty good. Where do you live, Brad? Now, as soon as I put that window down, you watch it. Reaper unit over there is going to kick on. This one's kicked on now. Uh-huh. Oh, you would tell me you did some Kentucky to Tennessee run or something, right? Louisville to Memphis or something? Jackson, Tennessee. Well, as long as it had lights, even if they were wired on, as long as it had lights. If the brakes and tires were good, you're good to roll. That's why a good truck driver carries that Alabama high-speed chrome. Other words known as duct tape. Well, what happened to Ike? I guess he left on us. Oh, that's bad when you'd pull yourself over. As long as you don't take it yourself, you're doing good. Dogs on the road. Only when Grandma, well, I can't say that. But yeah, when Grandma comes out with me, I got dogs with me. And we got one old man. He's called Scruffy. He's 15 years old now. But at one time, Grandma inherited a bunch of Yorkies. And with them came puppies. So our house was filled with like 3 mama dogs and, I don't know, 6 or 7 puppies. More than me and that old man wanted to handle, so I brought the old man out with me. And me and him went trucking, but he got more miles under his belt than most of these modern day drivers. So, he's a good road dog. And he'll go potty on demand. He'll lay over there, and if he's got to go, he'll let me know. But he can go a long ways without it. Then when I do make a pit stop, even if he's not asking, we would take him out, grandma's the one that taught him. And we'll walk him a little bit and tell him, go potty. And he will. He'll take care of business. If he don't, first time you tell him, we got to go trucking, you better go potty. And he'll find something to hike his leg on and take care of all of his business. And he'll trot right back over to the truck and stand there and wait. Oh, he's a hell of a dog. That being said, I've seen trucks out here with 6 or 7 big dogs. Now, grandma's dogs, they don't weigh 5 pounds apiece. And normally there's only 2. At one time there was 3 for one trip. But then one of them got snake bit. But I've seen cars or trucks just filled up with critters. Now, I don't really think that's fair to the critters. If you're going to get a pet for the truck, you need to make sure that it's got the right personality. So you don't want to get a Jack Russell, which you see a lot of them out here. Them little firecrackers, they want to bounce off the walls. Well, it ain't fair to take an active dog like that and put him in this rolling prison cell. And then when you stop, you're not going to want to spend the time outside with that dog that he requires. And he needs to stop and spend that energy more than once a day anyway. So the right dog on the road is a good thing, and it's good for the driver. The wrong dog is torture on the dog. What up, the Jay? Oh, there's plenty of them that would take you. Now, where do you live? Are you around the city? First thing you got to find out is what terminals are closest to you. What trucking company has a terminal close to you? That's the first thing you need to find out. If you're close to CFI, that's Joplin, Missouri. They're not all bad, and they don't have to be close to you. CFI would get you home anyway. Only 2 at this time that I would tell you to check out would be Schneider and CFI. They both have their pros and cons. All of them do. And I think both of those with your CDL, they have a training program. So you would have to go out with a driver, I'm quite sure, a trainer, for around 3 weeks. Of the 2 of them, I would put Schneider on the top if you're looking for longevity, because they do have good benefits for the driver. Yep, dogs are intelligent. Yep. I wouldn't go with Averitt. I'd stay away from them. Well, and that's what I'm talking about, Cincy. 3 big old labs in a truck. Labs are pretty active. So to me, that's not being fair to the dog. Me, I don't do cats. Well, I'll keep my opinion of cats to myself. You ain't got no money for what? What did I miss? Oh, for the iguana? Yep, exactly. I got a reefer on both sides of me. That one's about 3 trucks over, so it ain't quite as bad. Yep. Central Florida, that's a rough place to be driving out of. I caught a company down there, I don't remember their name now, when Champion had sold out and they threw us on the street. Luckily, that's when I got into hauling boats, right before they did that. But I'd been calling and checking because I was reading the writing on the wall. After a little while, you can start getting a feel for when a company's fixing to do something stupid. And that company down there, and I had years of experience, clean records, the whole bit. One of them deals where any company would have wanted me, and that's not me talking smack. Y'all know I'm honest. So I've got this great record, and I'm talking this company down there, and at that time, the national average was around 35, 36 cents a mile. And they offered me like 26 cents a mile. I'm like, really? For an experienced driver with a good record? Oh yeah. How do you justify that? And, well, that's what it pays down there, supply and demand. And there's not that many trucks, so we get to go down on our rates. Well, not for me. So yeah, if you're in Central Florida, be leery. Now, I'll grant you that was about 15, no, probably 12 years ago. I doubt if it's changed much, but maybe. And then they holler about driver shortage. All right, old Grand. Good night, brother. A Roddy, huh? Uh-huh. Well, if you're having issues dealing with Florida traffic, you're going to have fun going through Atlanta or Chicago or LA. How about Dallas? Yep, Florida's always been that way, just like California's hard to get out of at wrong times. Well, that tool and die might come back. If Trump keeps going the way he is, there's companies that saying they're coming back. So don't give up on your trade. You might take a break from it, but don't give up on it. Don't sell your tools. That's exactly right, Cincy. That used to be the deal. We'd run into Florida. It paid good going into Florida, but you couldn't get nothing out. Lucky to get orange juice out. So you'd run up to Florida and get watermelons or get onions. I hear you, Mitch. Of course, you're cut off for the next week. Yeah, they can be. But taxis are aggressive anywhere, and they're just plumb stupid. Boy, driver, did you find a hole or what? Yeah, he did. I mean, he'll get out of it. He ain't in no danger at all. And boy, old flatbed sure did twist. Like right there. Right hand side's in a big old hole. Well, it was in enough of a hole that it split tandems, and the front left was off the ground. That's a big hole. See, I don't mind Chicago. That being said, I don't go up there anymore, but I didn't mind running up there. But I used to run out of there too. I ran out of there for about 2 years. Prime sucks. Kelly, what's up, brother? Oh no. Was the RV guy mad? Oh man, not another motorcycle. You working on it for somebody else or for you? Don't tell me it's a rice burner. What are you mad about? Dare I ask? Okay. I know this killing my shoulders keep leaning up there like this. I don't know why it ain't scrolling. Well, that begs to ask her, was he illegally parked? I'm fixing to get off here in a few minutes, folks. So So any questions, comments, or anything needs to be said, let's get them out in the next couple minutes. I'm heading to, can't think the name of it now. Right down yonder. JJ, where am I going? I forget the name of it now. Good night, O'Grain. I hear you, Kelly. Shreveport, that's right, thank you. Be careful there, old man. Call me sometime. And yes, he is an old man. He got me by a year or so. Alright, good night, Sonny. Everybody else, thanks for stopping in. Remember, the good Lord loves you, and so do I. Y'all be careful out there on them highways and byways. Love y'all. Talk to you probably tomorrow. Good night.